That way police don't have a clue when turn up. I'm dolo when I'm out making different moves. Pull up to the shop just to pick and choose. I'm that, don't get confused, cause even when the prayed I didn't lose. Machine.
I done seen the best stuff from Jan up. 25 to life in the gas talk. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phone, they can hear us.
Hey everybody, it's the Coast. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to the air, Luck on second down. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
On first down, it's Rosen. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It's caught inside the 25. A big third down play there for the Jags. And even 60 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball in that because usually...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here's a give to Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's got it. And he's brought down. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter as that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
To throw is Rosen. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jace Amaro, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Luck now to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. 2nd and 10, Luck again. Open here, Adam Thielen. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To the air again, Luck. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Nifty move there on the run, but ultimately brought down at the 25. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
Hurry up, here we go.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Rosen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bush. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now it's Hines. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And we'll see what the decision is here as they've got a 4th and 1 coming up. And the Jaguars send out their punter. T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And a look now at Lamar Miller. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Now a former Seminole, this is Chris Thompson. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and settle them down.
And he's got his man Hilton. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Hilton's first catch, good for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Doyle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Luck now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Miller. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Calais Campbell on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw is Lott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A shotgun snap for Lott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And Gold is able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea. Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 1st down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Rosen looking to throw. He's going to loft one. Deep left. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a first down throw. Luck. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Here's Luck. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, here's Luck. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's Rosen, and he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Rosen again. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Detroit!
Rosen to throw again. He's going to float this one deep right. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark as the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. 14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Locke caught left side by Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. The final shot before the break. Locke into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he will be brought down. His time is now run out on this first half of action. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. This will be taken in at the 1. And an alley to run. The 40. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. Jaguars. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars continue to roll. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the 3rd part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Locke. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Back to the air. Luck on second down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 23 yards on the play.
What a catch and one-handed. And I'm starting to lose my awe about the play. And maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get that little extra tackiness to them now. And I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that is no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
This will be caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He'll get it up the middle. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal.
4 down. Alert. Check out. Right, 80.
Back to throw. Love. And he's going to find Doyle in the end zone for a Colts score. Jack Doyle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now Bush on the return. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 2nd down is Love. Now a hit and Love lost the football. It's out. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Oh, he slipped right by him. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run with Hines, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. So that one will get him halfway to the 1st down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now. First throw now for the backup, Bortles. Over the middle, complete. That's close. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it. And you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
Now a hit and lost the football. It's out. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Luck throwing again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Luck. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Gold with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Now Bush on the return. Oh, nice move. And he's loose again. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Lambo to add on the extra point. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A spectacular return of 96 yards. Great blocking in front of him on special teams as well as he takes it to the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today. don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10, Luck again. He's going to let it fly. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Luck. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jags, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to make amends next